against that, but it was a different roster. It was a bit of a different time. It's the same org, but these things do have a way of changing. We are going to see our first FURIA ban of essentially just leaving your team in a 1 versus X. Ashen isn't wasting any time here. Immediately gets himself in. You can see some there at the bottom of the screen right now. Fultz is going to find one onto Ivan. Finished off there, I think, from J9O. I think he may have found the down there. J9O still not being credited with a kill, so maybe just putting in that covering fire. But there it is! Top of elevators is not safe, Pyrox. You cannot just wander there willingly. And this is what happens when you have the Kali and when your team is successful in that opening couple of kills, because it just increases the pressure. Not only have you got short range pressure, it's now long range as well.
Whoa, just circling their way around. Mutombo, unfortunately not able to get the take onto one. There's the crossfire of Ashen. They finally get rid of a single player. Iconic is gone. But with the plant being secured, with the man exactly pinched all the way around, I mean, SSG.
Now got Forest getting established up there, and we can start thinking about our own game. Whoop-a-daisy, out the window we go. Ivan, there it is. It didn't take too long. Ashen, for all that you started off the round pretty well, you have been taken out by one of the oldest tricks in the book. The question, can SSG deal with this directly? Is J9O going to lose his life to this? No, Iconic, he joins the party as well.
So he's one that we need to start seeing getting a little bit active on these defenses, but Iconic, he deactivates his second of the round and gets the end of Rovey.
The site was pretty light for a time there. We have seen a couple of players rotate themselves back. We do still have that presence inside of blue as well from Tusky. But Fultz, he's got the main stairs on his mind, and he's going to be taking Pyrox out. A severe lack of kills coming in here from Cruelty, and no position to be able to trade one another either. Castle Barricade could be slowing Forest down up here in open, and with 20 seconds to go, there is a hatch drop waiting to happen. A C4 in the hands of Tutsi, but not for long. What a frag there from Forest. Mutombo, he's got a lot of work to do. He's getting shot in the back, and it's going to be Iconic to finish him off. Iconic there, picking up a couple of kills where the defender was essentially caught looking the entire wrong way. Some brilliant teamwork from SSG to break that.
Read something. Is he going to go for another jump out? The answer is yes, and there's the result. Fultz had the watch.
C4 in the hands of Mirror, and now you're not able to use it because you might not have that info. Ivan, he's rotated himself upstairs. Could have a chance here onto Ashen and will convert, but look at the proximity. Fultz is immediately there to trade. Pyrox takes Forest down in the meantime.
Directly contesting it, but the Mirror can get there very quickly. Pyrox has an important call and job. 15 seconds, the bees come round, they're hopped in the window, doesn't get the player on the drop, the swing comes round from Iconic, looks for the next, hungry for the fight itself, but Fultz is the man that needs to stick it. They've got the cover on beepers, there's just Mutombo left. He cannot quite get towards one engagement, he's suddenly in two, but the rotates over the top. He has to quickly get this first. The C4 will cement it. Now the vertical. J9O, a sliver of health. The kit being played from below. The pop draws some of the attention. There's some great preamble, though. He knew where he needed to be, but he didn't have a lot of health. Curious what they're going to try here. Are they just going to force this close player out so they can't swing in when they go for the cover? There's Mutombo catching at least one. There's the swing in on towards the back end player, but J9O suddenly up the spiral stairs. The executors come together. J9O! With a secondary, finds his secondary, as easy as you like. Ivan's trying to rebuild some structure as Forest goes for the plant. It's covered, very calm and cool. Top white falls, and Pyrox, all alone, hops out for one and finds it. But at this point, they can very easily replace that player. Fultz, nice, smart.
Fultz is fuming there. He's absolutely fuming. The plant is going down, and this guy runs out of the top of square just to get one.
I mean, he will get back up there, but lo and behold, someone has replaced that position. And they're back out on the rappel. It is an impactless kill at that point, because you've got to fight the position. But this isn't how. Do you know how you could also do it? Is utilize the Kiba in the pocket, try and cover the window, cover some motion.
The option to drop. Not sure if he knows there's a shotgun player playing behind a shield, but he doesn't care, goes for the swing anyway. Will be taken out there inside of Janitor, but do they know about Rovi here? He's just tucked into Printer. Fultz, bad info there. Didn't know that he was in that position, just ratting it out, and Well, this looks like the start of Cruelty's first round.
J9O and Forest are close to the site, and they want to see if they can maybe get this player underneath. They've entered via the lobby hatch. Not been offered to Forest yet. The plant's coming through. Oh, almost the worst time. There's one. Looks for the second and doesn't quite get it. A post plant. But Cruelty, they just have to structure their take together. It's still 2 versus 4. 3 versus 2 versus 1 versus J9O. Finds himself in a 1 versus 1 from where we were to where we are. The C4 is shot out. And there's the connection! You said it before, he's one of the best in the world!
Try and play with a little bit more togetherness, because at the moment, J9O, he's on absolute fire. Ivan, first to fall here. Ashen, in and out.
Engagement. They've lost the Solace. They can't quite have the full read. You can see they're just sort of prepping for the drop, for the take. A C4 does get 1. J9O's in the middle of it to find 1 and 2! He is stopped. He can maybe be killed. He can be downed. They do get 1 on the back end, but with Faults covering Rovi, it is just Mutombo. Trying to hold on and find the confirm. On towards the down player. Does he go for the pickup? There's the rotation. The catch is almost made onto Forest. Does the smart move, but now they know entirely where the 2 players are. They should get J9O's. Okay, able to live. He'll tell everything about Toski's position. They're able to react. Mutombo gets 1. Forest is all that's currently left. He's looking to find his way out. A 1 versus 1 now. Both players are down. He's able to finish his. He's on the swing of the Beeper's door. Close, and it's Forest to get the confirmation.
Here, could be in position to strike.
The calls come through. The Solace can't detect that fully, and they're just going to still win the fight anyway. prizepool does get Forest. At least finds one of the kills on the dip down, but J9O is there to get instant revenge. The rebuttal that was red. But at some point, you have to try and get the plant in. And Echo, he's reading everything. Toski does get Faults. A good little swing round. They had the watch on towards the back-end player. J9O has one of them pinched, or at least well prepared for. But as he slowly gets surrounded, at some point, you're looking towards the activation.
It's not the end of the world that we've got a couple of SSG players dead at the moment, because there are cams to watch. We've got yokai drones, and we have some defaults. We've got the bulletproof as well, so they're going to be flicking through those. But Tuski, he has got the 6th sense. J9O, finally, in round number 7, is taken out.
Ivan finds Iconic, and it's all down to Ashen. The Echo hits the beepers. They'll know where he's coming from, but they're going to try and stick the plant anyway. They have some of the cover. It's close on the left, just a second too late. Gets the one he can. Holds the fight towards the next. Has time to reload, but the width that's offered, the hot pings on the players, waiting for the swing either side of the hard. They've got to make sure that they're playing on contact here. As soon as one's revealed, the other can act. The impact won't quite have the full catch, and finally, Cruelty break the deadlock. They get 1. How much further can they go?
Welcome to the major, Cruelty. There's no go-yo. There's none of these things that are classic time wasters. Instead, they're looking to try and take the fight aggressively to Cruelty, and J9O has been punished for it.
Still with a pretty confident game played out at this point, and he knows the team behind them. Ivan, though, gets 1, gets dropped. A bit of a risky motion, as Ashen does get the secure onto the cover, and they get Ivan. Suddenly, that lead of 2 bodies becomes a trade back out. Mutombo is able to catch one, but Toski goes down in the same second. They're inside the site, trying to put the pressure on the same way, but it's come with a lot more pressure. Forest, once again, in a clutch situation of 1 versus 2. They have the ping onto 1 versus 1. Mutombo does not have the kit, but has one of the best guns in the game. Just needs to make a single connection here properly with Forest for them to go down. They're happy to jiggle and wait. Obviously doesn't know about the kit, doesn't know about the positioning, but we saw some pings. They obviously have some of that read coming through. At what point is Forest going to go for the swing? There it is, the hot pings, and there's the catch. SSG, they pilot us over. The single round Cruelty took.
It isn't a map that they've been sort of shying away from. With it being a middle-of-the-road map, with it being a great basics map, it's usually a map that gets brought out inside a best of ones because it is seen as a fairly fair fight. From Mutombo, he does just peek his gun round, and Ashen immediately jumps into the skeleton key, gets the audio cue. Far too aggressive from Cruelty. This is the basement. You don't need to roam this heavy.
Again, such beautiful, beautiful control of what he wanted to do there. Didn't shoot when he just saw the barrel, waited for the audio. Great pair of headphones. 50 seconds, a 4 versus 2. We've seen these go away from these two teams, but it was SSG that won it out last time. Can Cruelty try and make some magic happen? It was now the situation of Pyrox and Toski, two players that, again, I guess no one really activated, but Pyrox was huge eyes on in the start of this series.
Pyrox going to pick one up there with the C4. You will see to it that the camera has gone as well, and that could be a bit of information that you might want at some point, especially if you're Tusky and you're now in a 1 versus 2. Picks one up through Moto Hatch. SSG now relatively split out, and Tusky's got a good heads up as to where this player might be. Ashen, how have you not fallen? He hits him with the turn and burn there, Emmy.
Where is this Blitz going to try and make its approach from? Because if that suddenly shows up on the door of the site, you realize just how under pressure they are. There's the hop in. Do they know about the gym equipment? Now they do. It's a 1 versus 1. The blinds come across. I complimented the player, but with everyone else dead around them, instead he drops underneath and still wins it out. Then pulls out the goo mine. They should get the cement, and they do on the player drop behind the bar itself. But 25 seconds. He's going to have to push his way up main stairs. There's going to be some of the pressure on the back end. But where's the kit, SSG, and where are you going to try and get yourself towards?
Forrest is going to push upstairs immediately. Very aggressive. The castle barricade slows him down, and Iconic gets stunned as he drops Logi Hatch. Forrest, slim amount of health and a hope and a wish to try and do so, is able to stun out one, but Pyrox hits the deck. Pulls out the deagle and gets the job done.
Can't trick both walls, but it's a very high breach. Ooh, and a very low drop there. Rovi catches 1 and 2. There is at least the trade out from range. The Kiba barricade, fortunately, a second too late to save the player. Pyrox is looking for the fight and finds it. Iconic gone. He's feeling his energy now. There's 5-1 for Pyrox. Forrest.
Breach. Forrest, he's been here before, he knows how to run a clock down. No point in giving himself away too early here. Instead, just wait and try and prey on a little bit of impatience from the side of Cruelty. It's still very doable. He's got one down, and he's going to confirm that. See how many more he can find.
I mean, you know, SSG give it and they expect it. Toski would stop hiding. It is wasting time. It's taking momentum out. He'll probably die. He's not waiting for anything other. All the smoke canisters still in pocket. As you said, basics fell apart there for SSG and stopped the count. Cruelty, a 2-1 up.
Too heavily for this pressure. Pyrox wants to get himself out and have a peek, then feel free. If his Wamai discs are placed, he's going to get some time in like that, then why not?
Look at how Cruelty said, oh, they're struggling with the fundamentals. Let's force fundamental siege. Another one for Pyrox. There is the trade out. They try and get the execute. It's traded back and forth, but Pyrox, the Eternal, keeps getting the back end. There's Faults finally ending him. So don't quite get the ace of Pyrox. But 2-1, Faults, all that's left in this situation. He doesn't have the kit. As I said, they were eyeing up towards the default, and that's where it's sitting for now. 30 seconds. If he can try and cut this into 2 engagement, he stands a chance, but they're not playing it. Cruelty, 3-1 up. Toski's on his cam here holding on. The wall is being breached, but a minute later than it should be. Finally, they can try and force out this player. They win the first onto the engagement of the breach. Ivan's caught. The blinds come. Toski's caught as well, just sprinting.
So much better. Done. Fortunately for SSG, there are no smokes left. There is also no C4. So there is a very good chance that they're able to get this over the line, but they need to trade out these numbers.
J90 does stop Pyrox before he starts threading multiple kills together. He was the last player on the back end as Iconic makes an approach up main. Now the kit is going to be trying forced in here onto Jim, but 20 seconds for us. He's got to get off that last Rotero drone and try and get himself inside the fight. The single player behind the chassis is protected by one of those. The swing of Matumbo gets one to his pistol for the next. They have to change window. Rovi's able to get himself in the position. 1 versus 2. The kit is cold. 3 seconds. They find the fight. J90 stacked up, just ensuring nobody is ready to try and stop it. But there needs to be something else that works alongside it. Faults finds Pyrox. Gets the first kill. Iconic finds just a free take. Looks for the next. And, well, he went for the knife, but the cover was there. And the cover also shot him in the face. Iconic goes down. J9O, he's killing everybody out here.
Well, you know, friend or foe? Do we put him at 6-0 now? I don't know. I think Iconic had the call, and the information was great. It just wasn't in the right spot. Easy pick up there for Forest as he catches Ivan just on a little bit of a rotation, but Mutombo there with the immediate trade. 40 seconds left, and, well, not really much to do. Out the stun. Can he keep the Yokai alive, or is it not even going to matter? Blitz storms through Ash Rush spot and immediately starts trying to get that plant down, but the Yokai stun is there, the information available, and Ashen, he's there to take Ivan down. The initial prong and the initial poke from Cruelty has fallen short, and Mutombo has gone on a mission himself, but he misses his shots! Those an Iconic pick up, what a piece! There's a Blitz, that's criminal, you've got to be collecting those!
Okay, I mean, that's sort of what I was...
Going to be -1 exothermic, and with one left, Tusky is left with but one choice. He must now open the construction wall, and he will do so under the cover of the Thatcher EMP. That one, as we can see from the outlines, is going to go down without a hitch, but not before Fultz jumps himself out. He fancies a little bit of an alfresco option there, and is able to take the head off Robbie.
I mean, Mutombo didn't actually see the player rotate round because the gun covered it, and that time J9 is truly, truly terrible for them. Sees one, there's two, and you'll be wondering why was one of the two dead players not watching the flank drone.
Robbie was on a drone, he just wasn't on the right one. It's Mutombo. He isn't on anything, he's just been on Thatcher's POV this whole time. And okay, maybe he's trying to shot call, maybe he's trying to make something happen, but you can't have a drone and not watch it. Fultz even flicked onto it and saw that it wasn't lit, so
Cruelty.
A bit of time spent so far, and we've spent a lot of it on the balcony. Finally, we get ourselves in as Tusky is able to storm on through, but he doesn't know which way to look. Mutombo picks up one, but the trade is fierce. We see a little bit of sanity coming there from Forest inside the bathroom. The castle barricade was prepped, and he's able to find himself one, make it two. Look at him go. Potential here for Forest to pick himself up 4 kills. Can he land the final shot? No. Ivan, reinforcements used. Not sure where they've prioritised. They've obviously done some reinforcing upstairs instead, and are looking to try and hold this with a mute jammer and a shotgun played pretty close, but Forest has already taken a ton of damage. Mutombo straight in there, not wasting any time. The roam was too heavy and too deep here from SSG, and they have been punished for it greatly. It's shaping up to be a flawless here as the diffuser is confirmed. Ashen and Fultz, they've got a long job ahead of them here. 2 rounds in a row, and there's 2 kills for Robbie and a flawless. This looks like it's getting ready for a bit of a hot and heavy drop there as Mutombo, he gets his way down. Ashen full white flash there as the Wamai. The shield will be placed, and the plank can start to go down behind it. The Toxic Babe is going to push him out of position though, and Mutombo, he takes a ton of damage. It's chip for chip so far, but J9O, he cements the first kill. Robbie with the trade, and the plant is now going down.
They have to charge him. They lost the controller pipes, and there's the charge. Ashen, they weren't watching keenly enough from the side. He screamed all the way up, and they get the trade out, but the kit, it was a sliver away from being planted. They've bought so much time, and J9O has maybe the most important piece of utility left at this point. The only thing that can try and long-arm stop, but they're concerned about what might be coming around the back of them, and I'm curious, where is that one player from the side of Cruelty we haven't seen? There they are. Rovi, he's trying to find his way. He's got to just dash across and hope he can get there in time. He does. Now as he sticks the kit, they've got to try and get J9O closer. There's that C4 I talked about, and there's the catch, but it's from Forest on the split. J9O, bottom to top, the 2 players that have rocked today have held on for the remaining roster at this point. The Ash of Pyrox has to try and go deep, so at this point, SSG go further away, and the round goes their way.
Over inside a garage to assist that impact trick.
J9O.
Hello?
Goodbye. Ivan had the cut from underneath, knew roughly where he was playing, and then knew very precisely where he was. Pyrox gets 1 as well. Suddenly, the 5 versus 3, but we've seen this fall away from them before. They've got to see if they can just try and keep this momentum. The smoke canister a step too far, and that allows him to stay tucked on the inside of the door. Ashton doing the rotate he made once before. This time it's checked. He's happy to check Ivan right out. They have the pings on 1 external player, and there's the catch looking the wrong way. In fact, no, looking the right way because Iconic got the kill anyway. Mutombo gets 1. It's a 3 versus 1 inside the site. Iconic the recent re-addition to our roster. He helped bring to their strongest suit. Dives all the way, but he's a second and a step too late. Finds one. Wants to try and isolate the next, but we are going to overtime.
A bit of support. He's got the player outside of Jacuzzi make that two as another one drops in. And of course the window players to boot as well. Tusky is going to pick up his first kill since the rehost there as Fultz will fall inside of the showers. Mutombo as well. 4 versus 1. J90, you've had a live series, but even this is a bridge too far.
Quite get them, but the impact should follow around. The Selma is caught. There's the third. But as Ivan gets suffered on the back, Forrest is inside. The Clash is going to reveal it. There's the trade out. It's all go. Drop down onto Moto. The Clash is trying to keep some control. It's Iconic in the midst of things. Rovi and Toski, all that's left. Clash was caught, and Iconic operated in the middle of it. 2 versus 3. Rovi's trying to buy all the support. The Clash is surviving. They don't want to give them the free fight, and there's an easy take. It's down on the back. It's just the Clash alone. I would be amazed if we find ourselves not in the 7-7 situation here. Toski is able to finally find the end of Iconic. If he'd have done that 30 seconds ago, it could have defined the round. Just misses the rotate of Ashen, who's heading up the buck to get that vertical control. The Clash can fact find for themselves. With this on their back, are they going to try the turtle? There's one in dirt that can go for the swing. There's the second ping. There's the swing. We are going all of the way. They have to find a kill over the next 15, 20 seconds before things go away from them. Ivan is caught out. Watch firmly underneath. Fultz, he can open himself a rotate out. It's a solace. He's got the drone. He's opened the hatch, and he's made a lot of noise. They don't know where he is. They don't really have the time to properly go and find him.
Rovi is going to try and make something happen here inside of construction. Losing Ivan early isn't the end of the world because you've lost the Ash. It's the end of the world because you've lost a body. At the moment, he hasn't got much to watch, and Fultz, he's on a bit of a tear. Could this be a Fultz round? Forrest, he joins into the party as well. 2 versus 5. This is for the series. SSG, Forrest on 2 kills as well. Tusky with it all to do. 1 versus 4. Forrest will fall, but it's likely not going to be enough. The stun goes out. He finds one, but who better than J90 to finish things off there for SSG?